Hey everybody, how you doing? Brendan Elliott here, back with another thoughts from Coach Brendon. Uh, Forgive me, I've had the flu the last couple of days. I don't even know how many people watch this, so I do know from stats on Facebook and some of the others, but um, I was committed to doing this on a regular basis, and I haven't done one for the last couple of days because of the flu. And you're probably going to hear that and hear a hoarseness in my voice and a couple sniffles here and there. But I wanted to get back on today to share this thoughts from Coach Brendon segment. I'm hoping it'll gain steam if I just remain consistent. And unfortunately, I had that little hiccup with not feeling the greatest the last couple days. So, and hopefully I'll grow viewership as I go. Um, and try to be as consistent as possible. We'll just put it that way. So anyway, this particular episode is going to be a little bit different. And the ones in the past that I've done, I've focused on something to share from my coaching experience. One thing I talked about briefly was something more industry based, something I felt like we needed to do a little bit better as golf professionals. Um, and this time I wanted to um, shameless plug because our Little Linksters organization, which turns 15 next year, next August is our 15th anniversary. I can't believe something so tiny, so small at one daycare center has continued, although with quite some struggles throughout the years, has continued to persevere and continue to, through all the ups and downs, provide quality introductory golf instruction for younger kids, but also as we've kind of gone through this process more recent years, expanded out to older kids and special needs. That program's been around for a while, the goals program, and again, a lot of ups and downs, not gonna lie. It's been difficult, and there's been a lot of things to celebrate, a lot of good things over the years. Had a lot of support from very influential people in the game. Jordan Spieth, through his Jordan Spieth Family Foundation, has been amazing since he came on board as a partner in 2012. We had a couple years where we didn't gain their support, but they're growing and they're getting a lot of people reaching out to them. So the last 2 years we didn't have support, but previous to that we had a major donation from them in 2020, and then COVID hit, so we kind of had to work through all that. But Jordan's been fantastic since 2012. It's been well over $100,000 that they've donated to our organization, particularly working in the special needs area. We did, through the way they've changed their processes, we did get to apply for a grant again this year. So fingers crossed on that we'll be a partner once again with them. But, I look back several years ago and we had a situation where our equipment trailer, really nice trailer that I bought, and we accumulated a lot of stuff over the years for equipment for tournaments at the time that we were doing, and programs all throughout Central Florida, after school programs at different, county parks up in Volusia County and different places we used to do programs. And we accumulated a lot of equipment, anything from snag golf to US kids golf to the littlest golfer, clubs, targets, all kinds of stuff. Well, that trailer was stolen from where we parked it behind when I used to work at the Golf Academy of America. That was a major obstacle that almost shut us down. When all was said and done, we probably had upwards of $12,000 to $15,000 worth of stuff stolen, including the trailer, the cost of the trailer itself. But it was amazing the support we got from the golf industry and people outside the golf industry that just stepped up. I mean, Keegan Bradley, PGA Tour star, major champion, him and his father, Mark, who's a PGA professional, they donated $10,000 to help us continue to keep going. We've had donations over the years from Jack Nicklaus, Gary Player, Raymond Floyd, ongoing support from Annika Sorenstam and her foundation. Zach Johnson chipped in back when the trailer was stolen. So a lot of those folks I mentioned, they've helped us off and on over the years too. Companies that have helped us, US Kids, Dan Van Horn, who founded US Kids Golf, he personally has been a great contributor, not through US Kids themselves, but him personally out of his own pocket has been a regular contributor to us and sees what we do and what it means to the local community here in Central Florida. The littlest golfer who I mentioned before, Chris Wilson, got to give a shout out to him. We haven't spoke much over the last several years. It's been a real weird last several years if you're with me on a lot of fronts. But his company, the Littlest Golfer, they donated $10,000 several years back. So there's just been so much support from the Golf Channel being a sponsor, a past sponsor, through folks on the Golf Channel. Lauren Thompson's been awesome over the years. Just so much support over the years. And like I said, it's been many, many highs. All the awards that I've won, I'm very humbled by that. But every time that's happened, whether it was the PGA National Youth Player Development Award in 2017 to chapter awards and section awards and US Kids and Golf Range magazine, I always say that that's always not about me. It's about my team at Little Linksters. It's about the mission of what we do at Little Linksters, which is providing opportunities for the youngest kids originally, but now it's for kids that just wouldn't have that opportunity to play golf. And that's what we do. And I'm busting my hump behind the scenes. I laugh with my coaches because I've become more the Wizard of Oz in recent years, where the only coaching I really do is my private coaching, our group programming, our school-based stuff, our stuff at our 2 golf courses. That's run by coaches that I trust, and they're like family. I mean, they do an amazing job of running our group programming. And so I'm the Wizard of Oz, just always trying to find that angle, find that support, find a new way to branch out and garner support, and also find new ways to make an impact in what we try to do, using golf as a vehicle to change the lives of kids. And not just kids that are golfers, that come from golfing families, that would stumble upon golf if we weren't around or not. There's a lot of kids that are golfers that just, they love the game, they've taken on early, and then they want to compete, and they want to pursue it as potentially going to college or maybe even more. I've got kids that were kids with me that I've coached that are now PGA professionals themselves. Zach Canfield works for Golf Tech in Maitland. He worked at Lake Nona, worked up in Ohio. He was a student of mine way back in the day. I have a student from when I coached high school golf at Bishop Moore that's on the PGA Tour, Sam Ryder, who's also been a supporter of us over the years. I didn't have anything to do with the success of any of those people that made it that far. I was just someone along the way that helped them pursue that passion and pursue that love. I'm never going to take credit that their golfing ability came from me. I had something to do with helping them in their journey, but that came through their own hard work. And I'll never, if I have students that go on to do great things like that, I was just one of those people that helped them along the way. That's it. Their success is their success. But back to my Wizard of Oz thing, I've been working really hard trying to create partnerships, and we've had some over the years with Special Olympics, and that's come and gone, and I'm going to pursue it again. Other special needs organizations. Right now I'm working with some groups that I can't really probably mention yet, but there's one in particular that could really in 2023 make a major impact on spreading golf in Central Florida to kids that normally wouldn't have that opportunity. And I'm so excited if this all comes together, and it really looks like it will. I guess some things I could kind of talk about, some other partnerships. Had great conversations with a great nonprofit called Youth on Course. Some of you probably heard of that organization, but I've had great talks with them about doing some work with them. A lot of synergy between what they do and what Little Linksters does. They do it more on the course access side of the equation, which is a problem. Getting access to golf courses for juniors sometimes is a problem. And they do amazing work. And I'm looking forward very much to working with those guys and doing some work with them. There's some other groups, the National Black MBA Association. I have a contact here locally that's a chapter president for them, and we're going to look at doing some work in some of their mentoring programs that they have for high school kids, wanting to expose those kids to the game. And again, have that as a potential tool. You never know, because if you're not exposed to it, you never know if it could become a potential tool. Those of you that know golf, those of you that love golf like I do, it's been my life since I was 7, 8 years old. You understand what this game can do for kids. It can do great things for kids that will stumble upon it because family members play and that's how they're introduced. But the stuff it can do for kids that don't have that opportunity and you give them that opportunity, it's sky's the limit. They don't even have to go on to become golfers or work in the golf business. I'm not talking about that. It's just the tools, the life skills that it provides to them for having those opportunities. And then if they keep playing, it's a bonus. I mean, when they go to college and they play golf, it's a bonus. It can be used to foster relationships. When they get into business, we all know what the world of golf does for business and propagating new business opportunities. So it's a big deal. It really is a big deal. And I know I'm a golf lover, so I can say that. But I wanted to share this with you because this is interesting. This is something I saw the other day. So I'm looking at some stats here. This comes from a groundbreaking research survey about youth sports and career success down the line. So 6 out of 10 business owners have played sports and been involved with athletics when they were a kid. 6 out of 10. Okay, you'll say, okay, that's no big deal. 95% of those affirmed that participation in sport and athletics at a young age and coming up through elementary school, middle school, high school had a very positive difference in their development as a child. 57% of business leaders attribute their youth sports experiences to their business successes. Okay, so nearly 60% of people that played youth sports had those opportunities as kids. When they go on to adulthood and into business, 60% of them said those experiences, no matter what the sport is, influence them. Okay, and golf's probably one of the best, one of the top. If you ask anybody, golfer or non-golfer, what sports, give me your top 5 sports that if a kid played it would have positive effect on them as they grow into adulthood. I guarantee golfer or non-golfer will put golf on that list of their top 5. I guarantee you. It would be a very high percentage. Trust me on that. So that's why I'm passionate about this. Now, this is a pitch, shameless plug for the fundraising that we do at Little Linksters. Why do we fundraise? Okay. We fundraise to help support kids that couldn't participate in the programs that we do. In addition to that, we're just always trying to grow our goals program, which stands for golf outreach advances life skills goals. Okay. And again, it's been up and downs. We've had great years with a lot of participation. We've had some years like COVID year in 20 where we had very little participation. Obviously, there was circumstances that surrounded that, but we're always just pushing forward. 15 years in, we just keep pushing forward, trying to bring things back and gain more traction. And it's tough. Okay. So the scholarships for kids that couldn't afford to participate in our programs, scholarships for special needs programs. We've had a special needs school, Celandine Life Prep Academy, that's been with us for many, many years. And Coach Jordan's worked with them. And now this year, we're the only extracurricular activity at that school. Okay. That's how much they trust in what Coach Jordan does with them through our goals program. He's got over 30 kids at that private special needs school that's participating in golf and using that as teaching of life skills. Okay. So our goals program, we put a scholarship together in the name of a past coach, who very sadly passed away in December of last year. Now, he hadn't been coaching with us for a couple years, but Danny Mapes was a coach of mine. I met him at the Golf Academy of America, where he was a student, and I was one of the teachers there and the director of career services. Danny had spina bifida. He was in a chair most of the time. Great student, great personality. He would play golf. I played golf with him a lot, but he'd get out of the chair, kind of balance around, trying to using the club to balance. And he always told me the first few times, I'm gonna fall. Don't freak out if I fall. And he fell a lot, especially getting in and out of bunkers. But then as he graduated and an opportunity came up for me to connect him with the folks at the McCord Golf Academy at Orange Lake Resort. Danny got a full-time teaching gig at Orange Lake, and it was awesome. They loved him there. He was doing our goals program and some stuff out there, and then that kind of went away, but he still was teaching out there. So the last couple of years, him and I really didn't go. He wasn't working with us anymore. I didn't really talk to him. I've talked to him every once in a while, and I remember sending him a message the fall of last year, telling him how proud I was of all the work that he's been doing and been able to do. And then sadly, last December, he passed away. So we put a scholarship together in his name. We have no funding for it. I put a GoFundMe page up for it. I know his family set up a nonprofit, and I'm not sure the ins and outs of that and where that's at right now. I need to reconnect with them, but or the Danny Mapes lifetime special needs scholarship, I'm still going to give it out. There's been a couple applications kids have put in. We probably will push it out through January to our scramble event, which I'll talk about in a little bit in January. But that lifetime scholarship, we're going to pick one kid that applies per year and give them golf until they don't play golf anymore. However we can help, pending funding, whether it be if they're in Special Olympics, we'll help them pay for equipment if they want and need new equipment. They want to compete, we'll help take care of costs that are associated with that. If they want instruction, whether it's virtual, which is something I'm getting back into, or face-to-face or group programming, we'll pick a kid and take care of them for as long as they want to play, whether we have the funding or not. A lot of times my coaches know this, a lot of times we don't have the funding, and someone will apply for something and we'll make it happen. We'll take care of it, which means in a lot of cases, the coaches that do this as a job, as an income for them, they go without. We just make those sacrifices as coaches. And this is why I fight so hard for the fundraising. So the scholarships for our regular programming, scholarships for our special needs programs, this new Danny Mapes lifetime special needs scholarship that we're going to start doing. We started what I call my dream scholarship, which is again just like the Danny Mapes, but for kids without special needs. Golf's expensive, and these are for more advanced kids that want to compete, play in tournaments. They're in high school. Parents can't afford private instruction. They can't even sometimes afford group instruction. They can't afford tournament fees and traveling to tournaments and equipment. And again, this is what the My Dream Scholarship is about. It's about helping those kids when they fill out an application. If we can make it happen, we'll do all that we can to make it happen. Our first recipient was a young man, Jake Ryan, who is a junior now at Ocoee High School. Known Jake for a while. Him and his brother Nate have been in our programs. And we gave him that scholarship. Got him all new gear, Strixon irons, brand new, woods. Got him a snazzy Masters green Strixon stand bag, which was a limited edition bag. Get him a dozen balls here and there when he needs it. A couple gloves, new gloves from Strixon. We're going to take care of him, okay, as much as we can. Tournaments are starting to come up. High school season just finished up, so he'll be looking to play in tournaments. He's a junior, so he's got some time. And I'm going to push him to compete this year, and we'll take care of those fees. we'll figure out a way. I promise you, we'll figure out a way. Private instruction as we can, as schedules work out, him and I will get together and work on things. I've always got the online instruction open to any of my kids. And as tech savvy as you think kids are, sometimes they just don't jump onto that. The ones that really want it are always blowing me up, and I'm happy about that. So Jake got the first My Dream scholarship. We want to put a dollar figure with it. Not that it's important, but it is for this conversation. It's over $10,000. Retail value of all the equipment, the one-on-one instruction, group instruction, and we haven't even gotten into the tournaments and stuff. So that could add on to it. We have a second My Dream scholarship recipient that just happened. Noe Rodriguez, who works with some of our coaches at our Red Tail Golf Club location. He is just weeks into it. So he'll get the same stuff offered to him. Right now, I told him we're going to have to put a little bit of a hold on the equipment because you've got to build up the funds. But we're going to take care of him. And there's a couple other, Rylan Vaught, a couple other kids that we're starting to take care of. We're really trying to push the scholarships now. Excuse me. And that's what we raise funds for. I think sometimes when I'm working so hard at trying to make things happen, and it's been difficult, like our 100-hole marathon, which I'm going to speak on next, which is the 11th year we've done this, is coming up this Saturday. We've had amazing years. We've had years where we've made $35,000 in one event. And our worst year was COVID year 2020. We were made about $8,500. On average, over the 11 years, we've made about $15,000 year over year on average. So 20 was the worst year, 8,500. We sit at $5,000 right now, with a couple days left until this 11th version of our 100-hole marathon. And that's why I'm making this, thoughts with Coach Brendon today. I don't know who's going to see this. I'm going to post it like I always do. Maybe it'll make an impact on somebody. Maybe. I don't know. But I hope. I'm always hopeful because I want to be able to provide these opportunities that I spoke of, which are going to be more and more as we go into next year. Those partnerships that I kind of alluded to, there's some big opportunity there, really big, unlike anything we've ever had before. And I know with what we're trying to do with those relationships and those partnerships, we're going to need support. It's going to happen because it's going to be parts of the community where kids wouldn't have the opportunity to play golf. And we want to do that. We want to give them that and use it as the vehicle we know that it can be to provide life skills and new opportunities and seeing life in a whole different way for a lot of kids. So I'm going to kind of wrap up here. Our 100-hole marathon, 11th annual, this Saturday at Orange County National on the Tooth course. Please make a pledge. There's not that many people playing in it. Excuse me. And that's always been the case. I don't think we've had any more than 15 people. Even that year we made 35,000. And that's not the point. It's just pledging to a player. I'm going to provide the link with this post to do it, but it's littlelinksters.org, O-R-G, littlelinksters.org. Go to the players tab, pick a player. I'm all the way down at the bottom. And make a donation. 50 cents a hole, $1 a hole, $2 a hole, whatever the case may be. Or you can do other amount, which would just be a flat fee. We were supposed to have a spinoff event of this at Popstroke on the 20th. We got a lot of kudos to one of my students for getting some of his ROTC cadets at his high school to sign up. There's 20 kids that signed up, but I needed a minimum of $100 raised per kid because I have costs into this. And I was given a percentage back to their ROTC. So kudos to this young man. I'll give a shout out to Noah Talski for getting those 20 kids signed up. But right now there's 2 of them that have fundraised, Noah and one other. And so we're probably not going to have the Popstroke event. I just needed a minimum number of people to sign up for that and take part in that to make it happen. So again, we stand at $5,000. I'm just hoping it's not a new record year for us in the worst kind of way. And there's a lot of corporate sponsors that didn't happen this year that have happened in the past, which is disappointing. My total, where it's usually like last year, it was 12,500. included a lot of those corporate sponsors, and I'm a lowly $3,800 now, I believe. And I'm holding that hope. I always do. That's just, as much as I don't sleep at night and I worry about things, I'm always holding out hope that something good's going to happen, um, which is fine. So we do have another event in January, a traditional scramble. First year we're doing that, and we're doing that at our Wakaiva Golf Club home base where we do a lot of our programming. And I'm hopeful for that. There's a lot of interest that's been shown, but not a lot of signups so far. So that's that. This is me on my soapbox, me making a plea, hoping that, you know, the stars align like they have in the past. Sometimes they've aligned and things have come together. But with so much opportunity on our doorstep going into the new year, I'm really hopeful for a lot of things coming together like they have in the past through the generosity of people. So this is my plea on my thoughts from Coach Brendon is, please, if you can, any amount helps. Please make a pledge to the Little Linksters Association for Junior Golf Development. Go to littlelinksters.org, players tab, pick a player, and donate to them for our 100 holes coming up this weekend. Thanks so much. For those in Florida with another storm coming the next couple of days, stay dry and stay safe, and we'll get another less touchy-feely type of video next time. Thanks so much.